Now regarding this derivatives. Derivatives are very important. It's a very important current affair also. It's a very important current affair. So we will cover in detail regarding derivatives and derivative reforms which you have read in the newspaper, but I just want you to have a basics. What this derivatives is all about. Now regarding derivatives, keep this in mind. In capital market, normally we can, just for your understanding, we can classify capital market in a different way also. That is, spot market and forward market. Spot market and forward market. Spot market is very simple. Market implies transaction happen in that spot itself. See, most of the market which you have seen is spot market only, where you go there, buy the item, pay the money and come back. See, it means that you settle the transaction then and there itself. You go to any market, you generally see a spot transaction. You purchase the item, pay the cash and go home. Over. Transaction is over. Market transaction is over. So normally similarly in capital market also there will be spot transaction will be there, where you purchase a security, give payment to it, so settlement happens in that day itself. You pay the cash and get the security. So that is spot market, spot transaction. But there is forward market or forward transaction. As the term suggests, forward. Forward means it's not happening on that day. It's happening at a future date. Forward transaction happens at a future date. And it's basically a contract. Forward market, in forward, specialty of a forward market is that it's basically a forward contract. It's a contract between the buyer and seller of that financial instrument or that asset. It can be an asset. So in this contract, what the contract says that, okay, it says that, okay, we will sign and I'll discuss an example for understanding this derivative or forward market. Now forget about this financial thing. Think about a farmer and a farmer who's cultivating wheat crop. And you know the specialty of a farmer, he's uncertain about the price of the wheat, because now he is going to sow the wheat and after few months only he knows that how much quantity he will see. He have an idea that he is farming for this much quantity ton of wheat, but two problem he has. One is, if the weather is good, he will ensure that whatever as per his expectation he will get it. So I am not talking about weather thing, that is he may be having insurance for it. If there is any weather related problem, he will study in agriculture. But second thing, he has another thing, is that he thinks that what will be the price? Will I get the price which I am expecting? So there is a price, again you will study in agriculture, that price is the minimum price the government have offered, but the farmer want more. What is the minimum price? That minimum support price is there. You will study all these things, what is minimum support price and all these things. But he is having an expectation, okay, he want it. But what will happen to him? Suddenly that season became bumper season. What do you mean by bumper season? There was lot of wheat have produced in that season. Now what will happen to the price of the wheat? It will decrease. So what he can do is, so nobody knows it 4 months back or 3 months back, what will be how much quantity it will be produced or something like that. So what he will do is, he will sign an agreement. He will sign a contract. So here farmer is the seller of, he is the seller na. Once he produces wheat, he will sell to a buyer. So he will sign a contract between a buyer think like Ashirwad Atta company is signing a contract with Ashirwad Atta. What is this contract says that? This contract says that, see, after few months, I will give you 5 ton of wheat. For that, you have to pay me this much F price. In the contract, he will say the quantity of goods he will be supplying, and he will say that I require this much of price. Then Ashirwad Atta says that the person will look into it and say that okay, I will agree. So this is a contract. Now what is the advantage for the farmer and what is the advantage for Ashirwad Atta company? Ashirwad company or this. For the farmer he is now sure, at least confirmed, okay, whatever happens, he will get this price, yes or no? He will get the price. And same the case of, now what will happen, suddenly whether the price increases or decreases, the contract have to be maintained. So actually both are hedging. See, in a uncertain time like this, where we are not sure about the future price of many of the products, by having a forward market, we can guarantee or we can hedge the risk. We can hedge risk. So what this farmer has done is, he has made a hedging for his price, wheat price. So the specialty of forward market is that you can hedge the risk. Now you are clear that okay, I'll get this much of price. Similarly, so we were talking about a agricultural commodity. Similarly, this forward can happen with any financial instruments, like Forex, like interest rate. So many instruments you can do. In so many instruments you can do forward contract instruments. Any financial instrument you can sign a forward contract. For example, I'll say that regarding, and take the case of an exporter. An exporter, he is made an export to US. He has made an export to US, and he got a letter saying that okay, after 60 days or after 90 days, he will get $10,000. He will get $10,000. He is very happy. Why he is happy? Means in the sense that today dollar is 68 rupees. So he is thinking that okay, today's dollar is 68 rupees. So after 90 days I will get 6,80,000. But are you sure after 90 days this dollar will be 68? No. If dollar becomes 70, exporter is happy. Why? He will get 7 lakh instead of 6. But if dollar becomes 67 or 66 or 65, is it a loss for him? Now what he will do? He will go for a forward contract with the bank, not with the exporter. Exporter will give only importer will give only $10,000. He will go for a forward contract in the forward market by saying that okay, after 3 months I will bring $10,000. And what is the prevailing rate? With the prevailing rate he will sign a contract. So contract is that after 3 months he will give $10,000 to that banks or any financial institution, and in return that guaranteed whatever the price is 68 rupees, whatever it is signed, he will get it 68. If it is 70, he will lose, but if it is 65, he will get 68. So I have given 2 examples of a forward. One in relation to Forex. Means how in relation to this is what is called as in Forex market this happens. We will study in detail when we will discuss external sector. So basically the aim of forward market is to hedge the risk. You are certain with the what you will get. So what are the specialty of a forward contract? One, it will be a future date transaction. It will be done at a future date. Second, price will be mentioned there. The price and when it will be settled, the price, the quantity of items, whatever it is, everything, and the date, everything will be mentioned in this contract. You get to the point? So this is actually a forward contract, and this happens in forward market. This is what normally happens in a forward market. Now forward can be classified into two. Forwards can be classified into two. One is futures, other is option. We can classify forward into two, futures and options. Now option is very important. Option you have read in the news. Now try to understand that both options and futures are what? They are forward. They are part of for forward contract. Now what is the difference between futures and option? In futures, I told you basically it's a contract or it's an agreement. Forward market, there is an agreement happens, yes or no? In futures, you can't break the agreement or you can't break the contract. It means that, for example, farmer telling that, okay, suddenly what happened? Price have increased. After 3 months, farmer can't say, no, I will not give it to you, I'll give it to, or you give me better price. So that's a violation of contract. In future, you can't break the contract. But in options, as the term suggests, you have an option to either you can settle the amount or you have an option to break the contract. It's very simple. Both are forward. In future, you can't break the contract. See, it says very simple. This definition is, this is sufficient for you to answer it. This concept only you be clear with it. In future, you can't break the contract, but in options, you have an option to break the contract. Now you tell me, so since in option, there is a option to break the contract, the margin, you have to pay some premium amount. If you are signing a contract as an option, you have to give some margin amount, or something like an advance or a premium. Some premium will have to be paid. And if you are breaking that contract, you will lose that premium. Whoever break the contract. Getting the point? So keep this in mind. Now why this option is in use, we will discuss slowly. So are you clear with this concept? So it's very important. Derivatives or derivative trading is nothing but forward. Now what is forward trading? Another name for forward trading is derivative trading. So forwards are also called as derivatives. Forwards are also called as derivatives. So when we talk about derivative reforms, it is reforms in the forward market. So basically reforms in the either in the futures or in the option, but actually reforms is going to happen in the option. We'll discuss what is that. I'll just give you an idea here. We'll discuss in detail as a part of a current affair, because it's a current affair. Okay. Now let's try to understand that in India, we have in every sector we have a regulator. Every sector we have a regulator. Yes or no? For money market we have a regulator. Who's that? Reserve Bank of India. For capital market, to regulate, to ensure that transparency is there, there is a proper system is being provided. Whoever do wrong, cancel their license or permission. So that's the function of so basically a regulator ensures fair trading or fair competition. Everything happens in respective sectors. A fair treatment, and one of the function of regulators to protect the investor. Protect the investor. Okay. Now in relation to capital market, try to understand that the regulator of capital market is SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. regulator of capital market is SEBI. Okay, now regarding SEBI, it regulates the capital market. It regulates the capital market. All the securities related with financial securities instrument were regulated by SEBI. But in relation to, so try to understand that in relation to our capital market, we'll discuss that regarding exchanges. We have stock exchanges. What is a stock exchange? We'll discuss now. But for time being, to understand this futures, try to understand that we have different types of exchanges, like stock exchange, where stocks are traded. We'll discuss that. What is a stock exchange? Like commodity exchange, where commodities are traded. We have Forex market, where foreign currencies are traded. Okay, now in relation to commodity market, so regarding the stock market, the regulator is SEBI only. Now regarding the commodity markets, commodities also having two markets, spot market and forward market. Spot market are regulated by the respective state laws, APMCs. You will study commodities, means especially agricultural commodities, I'm talking about agricultural commodities. There are other commodities also, that's a different law. It's not important, just come to this point. But so try to understand commodities also having spot market and forward market. Now regarding the forward market of commodities, it was regulated earlier, not now, earlier by a separate regulator. Try to understand, I'm talking about commodities. Commodities used to have a forward market, and the forward market of commodities is regulated not by SEBI earlier. Earlier it was not regulated by SEBI, it was regulated by FMC, Forward Market Commission. Earlier now regarding forward commodity market, it was regulated by, now try to understand that in commodity market as of now, options is not allowed. I'm talking about commodity market. As of now, options is not allowed in commodities forward market. Then what is left? Futures. So only commodity in commodity forward market, only commodity futures is allowed. And you know what is a commodity? So I told you that's a commodity future. Now what is a future means? You can't break the contract. So regarding in India, so FMC regulates what? Only commodity future trading. Rest of other trading is regulated by SEBI earlier. But what happened in 2015 was, a scam happened in one of the commodity exchanges, and that resulted in FMC to be merged. So that's again a separate current affair we'll discuss. For time, we can try to understand that FMC is now, because FMC was not having the required power to regulate the commodity exchanges, the government decided why to have a separate additional regulator. It merged FMC with SEBI. Now presently if somebody asks you, who is the commodity future regulator? It is whom? SEBI, because there is no FMC. FMC is merged with it. So we will discuss regarding SEBI FMC merger again as a current affair. It's very important. We will discuss in detail. So today we will only deal with the basics of capital market. Okay, so this you keep in mind regarding futures and option. There is a question. Just answer that question. Question number 4. It's a 2010 question. Just answer from that point of view. At that point of time, it is regulated by, FMC regulates what? commodity futures trading only. Now see the other choices. Be very clear with that. Currency futures. We discuss currency future. I give an example of an exporter. That is currency future. I told you na, $1. That is currency futures. Then equity futures. So equity also can be done in forward contract. Then choice D, you see both commodity futures and financial. So only commodity futures they are given. So financial futures or equity futures, currency futures all are regulated at that time by SEBI. Only commodity futures were regulated by FMC. Now all the futures are regulated by SEBI. And that's a very simple question long back in 99, question number 17, question number 18. But SEBI.